Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the I Can Do It podcast. I'm your host, April Burke. For those who don't know me, I am a single mom and stand-up comedian. My great friend, Doc Ivan, created these graphics here. I'd just like to say thank you to him. He chose the Rosie the Riveter image because I have been through a shit show of my life since the age of 4. For people that don't know me, I'll let you know I went through childhood sex abuse, drug addiction, 8 suicide attempts, failed marriage, domestic violence, you name it, I've been through it. So I'm going to invite my friends, fellow entertainers and friends to this show so that we can talk about our own shit show lives. And hopefully it'll make you feel a little bit better about yourself. Now today, I have a good friend with me. His name is Ken Perlstein. He's a stand-up comedian, actor, writer, producer, father, husband, and just a great guy. Hi, Ken. How's it going?
I'm good. I am good. I mean, geez, what an intro you have for yourself. You know,
I know, right?
She's coming live from the state of New York, April Burke. She climbed this.
Live from Bellevue Hospital. No.
3 TKOs, 2 knockouts, and
I want to start by talking about your TV pilot that you actually wrote, produced, and starred in. How Am I Doing? I actually rewatched it last night. Really enjoy it. It's about it's about a sobriety. Actually, I'll let you describe it a little bit more.
Sure. I started writing it a couple of years ago, and it's really, it's kind of it's a slice of life. It's a slice of life of not just me, but different people I know. And, it takes place in New York, and it's about a guy who's, going through divorce, and the fact that his wife has moved on with another person, and this guy is trying to stay sober, get back to his acting career, and keep a relationship with his, 11, 12-year-old daughter. She's
great, the actress that played your daughter. What's her name?
Tamara Conley.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, she's on fire. And she's fantastic.
She sure is. I like it because, I'm a recovering addict. Been sober 3 years recently. And I thought that was it's great to be bringing that up.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, this is June was my anniversary month. So.
Congratulations.
So it's 23 years.
Oh, wow. 23. I never thought I'd make it to 1. Let alone 3.
When I first came in, I never thought I'd make it 1 day. Yeah. All these people going, I'm John, and I have 10 years, and I have this, and then I'm like, what the fuck? Is there a version? Do I have to really do this?
Yep.
I can never, because I can remember going back that time, people in recovery, there's, through all of us mostly, it's just been like, how am I going to go through the rest of my life without a drink?
Yes.
What's going to happen? How do, and people would say, take it 5 minutes at a time.
That's a good thing. I like that. Take it 5 minutes at a time.
Take it 5 minutes if you have to. This guy would say, and call me every 5 minutes if you have to. If I don't pick up, I'll get back to you. But take it 5 minutes at a time and go from there. So, yeah, I mean, this pilot is a lot about that. A lot about blunders, and steps forward and successes and failures and just learning and being honest about where they're at.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I started my drug addiction at the age of 18 because I have bipolar disorder and PTSD, and I was self-medicating the symptoms. And then, before you know it, you're hooked, and it's really, really hard to come off of. Yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, my first drink was at 5 years old. It was a little sip of, my dad's scotch, and I loved it. And it almost burned my trachea at 5,
Yeah, I could imagine.
But, they thought it was funny around the house. And, but yeah, from the time I was a kid, I was actually diagnosed as being autistic and have Downs when I was around 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
So then they started calling that special education. They started calling that dyslexia and ADD. So I was in special ed for 16 and a half years. But from the time I was 6, I was on Ritalin. So I was always in a high form of on amphetamines.
Oh, wow. I was on, I was prescribed Ritalin for a while to counteract all the psych meds making me drowsy. They put me on Ritalin. Like, that's a great idea. Pretty
I mean,
bad.
the only good thing about Ritalin, I mean, sure, yes, there are a couple things. I mean, sure, it helped. Concentrated with it, helped. It was better with that. But at least, when I got older and somebody offered me an 8-ball of Coke and I tried it, I'm like, I got Ritalin, man. This Coke makes me want to do homework. Your 8-ball be a big black booger in my nose and maybe one of my go to sleep.
Cocaine, that was my drug of choice. Morphine too. Actually, one night I used to like to watch A&E on Intervention, where they would, have the intervention for the people. And I used to try to get as fucked up as the people on the show, which was like entirely impossible because they were severely fucked up. And one night my cat Donovan jumped up on my coffee table where I had my cocaine cut up. And he did like any cat would do. He sniffed it in. Yeah, it was horrible. Like, he was okay. He was okay. Like, you know what? That little fucker never paid me for that Coke. Yeah.
I want to climb. I want to scratch. I want to fucking climb with that shit.
Yeah, imagine that.
I'm eating my own fucking kitty litter. What's going on?
Exactly. You and I are also stand-up comedians. We've worked together at Broadway Comedy Club. I see that you co-host a show called Fun with Dick and Jane. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I mean, I used to.
Yeah.
I used to. It was that's been. Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. I did it with a friend, Stacy Kendrill. We did that for almost 3 years, and it was a great experience. And it was time. It was kind of time to move on with it. It's tough to produce shows. It's really hard to produce shows. But it was, we had on fantastic guests. And it was great because I like to book a lot of women on that show. And
that's great.
Also let them headline it. It's important to me because this is, as you know, man, this is a boys' club. Comedy is still a boys' club.
It sure is. Dat Fan the other night was saying it's like 1 female to every 9 male comedians, and like thinking about it, like the producers who ask me for titty pics or naked pics and that kind of stuff. I always want to ask them, like, hey, would you ask a male comic for, like, a dick pic? Like, it's definitely not equal. Definitely not.
Yeah, or, God, you're pretty funny for a woman,
Yes.
This next chick I'm bringing up there, man, she's hot.
It does. It happens. It happens.
Yeah. There's like 2 categories of this people. They're either far right people or far left people. So
yes.
It's like I got caught the past 4 years. It's like there was very little in between, kinds of people. So
yeah, definitely. I loved working with you though. You were great, professional.
Thank you.
Kind, not asking for pictures. You were great.
Gosh, and I just wanted to get up there and get it done and appreciate everyone else. And you were great. And I like
Thank
where
you.
you're going. I like the progress that you've made because it's you've gone through so many challenges, and you're a single mom, and
yes.
you COVID.
Yeah, COVID-19 with a 2-year-old is not recommended. Definitely not.
And not recommend for anybody, but you did it. And,
yes.
I think it's the good thing is that we've both overcome a lot of shit in our life.
We have. We sure have.
And
if we can do it, exactly.
Grew up with a lot of shit and in my life, and got through that, and had horrible self-confidence issues with everything, with what I looked like, if I was smart enough. Didn't feel good talking out loud.
Right.
I felt stupid. So
yep.
It's a lot better today. Of course.
Yeah.
It's, we had to go through our own personal hell to do that. And I put some of that in a pilot.
Yes.
You remember the scene with the AA meeting, but that monologue.
Yeah.
That I have it's exactly what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah, definitely. Word for word, definitely.
Sabotage.
Yeah, I have horrible self-esteem as well. I look in the mirror and I see something completely different than what other people see. I see this like ugly fat monster looking at me, and like that's not reality, but like in my head it is,
Yeah, no, and I get it. It's the same thing, but we've both overcome it, and it's great. I'm glad you enjoyed watching a pilot. You know, did you have any questions about it, or?
I did. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it, seeing where it goes. It's currently circuiting in the festivals, right?
Yes, whatever that means at this point, because so many festivals have been pushed back.
Right.
I mean, there are people who've done virtual festivals. There's virtual everything these days.
Yeah, there is.
And I mean, I think we're going to have to get used to it, because, unfortunately we have a tremendous leadership. I got to tell you, a lot of good people. I think the virus is a hoax. And then he went, I think we could wipe it out by maybe April or May. If you put bleach inside of people, body with ultraviolet light, it's going to get rid of it. I think we're doing to maybe people should wear a mask. I'm not going to wear a mask. Maybe we should pay attention to it. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't test people. Slow down the testing, because then more people are affected if you keep testing people. So that's who we have. So I don't have a lot of confidence in wiping this pandemic out anytime soon.
No, me either. And I love your Trump impression. It is spot on. I love watching the videos you make. They're great.
The Trump video.
Yeah.
She's done a tremendous job. She really has. She's done a good job. Done a pretty good job. I would have her in the administration. There was one thing I grew up. That's one thing I learned how to survive, was doing impersonations growing up.
Oh, okay.
Characters. I think one of the funniest things I did when I was a little kid, I was like 6 years old or so, and I could imitate a police siren to the pitch.
Oh, wow.
I do the whole fade and diminish. I could do it perfectly because, it's pre-puberty. And so there was one time where I got caught by the bus driver was after I had them pull over 5 times thinking it was a real police car because I was sitting in the back of the bus.
That's great.
I think one guy he was throwing out his weed, and it smelled different than my dad's cigarettes.
Yeah.
Shit, what, you guys see that? Did anybody see anything? Nobody saw me? Jesus Christ. So he would just keep grinding, he'd get back on the road, and then 3 minutes later I would do it again. He's like, fuck.
That's great.
Then my mom asked him why he was 45 minutes late. He's like, you want to show her?
I'm sure she was proud, huh?
Yeah, no, but
no.
yeah, it was funny. I mean, she thought it was hysterical after that, but
oh, I'm sure.
But yeah, that's how I got to doing different voices and characters, and it was fun. When you want to keep people away, you do silly shit.
That's true. I read that you do a George W. Bush too. I like him.
First of all, you guys miss me. I'm not a orange fella. I think the press is an integral part of society, and God knows they were hard on me. But if you try to declare the press as an enemy of the people, like orange fella, the orange guy, what was I talking about? Something about a orange thing. Little Clinton going, I'll tell you, man, George, it's hard, man. I came to, I went to visit W with a jar full of edibles, and we ate about half of them. And it was great. We got so fucking high that we watched one of Trump's speeches backwards. And then we played the Wizard of Oz in the background. Man, it was a trip, right, George? My pictures are melting because I like to paint. All my paints melt together. So we got really fucking high.
Love it.
Bernie Sanders, which is one of Bernie's like, first of all, not one person should have to pay for the edibles. They should be free for everybody. Not just 1%. Bernie's great, man. We like to have Bernie coming around, but he criticizes how we make the edibles as he gets them for free.
That's great. I can picture that party. I might want to join that party.
I don't know, man.
It'd be one hell of a night, I'll tell you that.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it was fun. That's sometimes, yeah. So you've seen the Facebook Live stuff, and
Yes.
It's I used to do when George Bush was president. Actually, I did a couple of live shows where I came on. I just put my hair up as him and had the eyebrows a little bit, and I did a quick monologue at the beginning, and then people got to ask whatever questions they wanted.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was great. So it was just, I remember it was just after Katrina, and then we did a little more after that, and that was a trip. And I mean, I would love to do. I did one Trump thing live with a friend of mine, and she played Rachel Maddow.
Oh, nice.
This was after he was elected, and we did it to raise money for Planned Parenthood.
Oh, that's great.
So
that's great. I like that.
It was good. It was good. It was fun.
I like that. I produced one show up here in Cobleskill where I live, the middle of nowhere. And I donated those proceeds to the domestic violence shelter that helped me out when I needed them. Yeah, I'm going to create a production company actually called Healing with Laughter, where I think I will just donate proceeds to certain charities, rotate them around.
I think that's great. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, with the pilot, it took a lot. It took 2 years. I went through a couple of different directors because I've been an actor, but I've never produced.
Right.
I had written very little beforehand. And so I had, in terms of production of an entire TV thing, I had no idea what I was doing. And you had to learn. I went through a couple of different directors, a couple of producers. There was a couple of points where I thought, I'm never going to do this.
Yeah.
We will end up and our only goal at one point was just to make what we call a sizzle reel, which is just like a little trailer. And I thought, if I had to, I'll accept that, but it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to shoot the whole fucking thing.
Right.
I want to work. I want my friends that I cast in this to fucking work. I want to cast the whole thing. I don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a fucking trailer.
Yeah.
No, I don't care. Come hell or high water, and we did it. Eventually I got 2 women who get shit done.
Great.
My friend Jen Plotsky became my producer, and she's an amazing actress, fantastic friend, and a kick-ass producer because she gets shit done. And
awesome.
We got an amazing director, Colleen Davy Janes, who was fantastic. And yeah, I mean, these are the 2 women in my pilot who got shit done. They get it done.
That's awesome. I'm all about women that get shit done.
Right? I'm telling you, man, these days, absolutely. We should.
Definitely.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Yes. I agree. It's
so funny because 2015 I thought I'm a Democrat and I'm pretty liberal, but you don't realize I woke, man. I was woke because you don't realize until you're standing together at that time with other women. You're like, oh wow, yeah, I have said that was misogynistic what I said. I've said some shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now I fucking get it. And then you start calling it out when other men are like mansplaining. I never heard of the term mansplaining before,
Yeah.
Actually, little lady, actually. Actually. Your jokes are okay, but actually, let me show you how you could do this. You're like, let me show you how I can tie your dick in a knot, okay?
That's a great comeback. I should have used that one.
Okay? Get away from me. Okay?
I've got thick skin, though. All the shit I've been through in my life, it's like, whatever people say to me, it doesn't offend me. I'm very, hard to offend, but, you should be respectful. Definitely agree. I mean,
respectful, just be respectful. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I mean, I'm a fucking work in progress. I mean, having a kid, as you know, will push every button that you have. It will trigger everything, and
yes.
Being married, marriage isn't easy.
It is not. I was married for 9 years, been divorced for 3. Yeah, it's definitely difficult. Like in the beginning, it's great. And then the sex fades. And then all of a sudden, they breathe wrong and they're coughing wrong and you just want to strangle them. And You start watching Forensic Files together, and you're taking notes in your head. Like,
Oh, I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't hear that either. I do not condone homicide. Let me just put that out there. I do not.
No, I've been married before, divorced, and my late wife, my first wife, passed away last September.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right, and she always, she'll always have a special place in my heart. And,
definitely.
Keep in touch with her mom, and I met I hate to say my current. That's the wrong way to say it,
Right? It sounds like, well, there's going to be another one. Yeah, no.
Well, my current one right now. Dun, 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 dun. Bring out the contestants, Bob. Meet wife to be number one. But no, my wife right now, we met online actually. And
oh, wow.
So, right. Not through Craigslist, but we, your picture gets mine. Your picture. If you ever want to feel bad, if you actually want to feel better about yourself, go to the Craigslist personals.
Yeah, they're good.
Better. You feel much better about yourself.
I'll have to check them out. I've been selling my stuff on Macari because I don't get child support, and I'm on Social Security disability because of my kidney failure and PTSD. And somebody actually messaged me. They bought something that I was selling, a Joker bobblehead, Heath Ledger. And then they canceled it because when you cancel it, you can message the seller. And his message was, I don't want this, but I wanted to tell you you're gorgeous. Like, I never heard of Macari as a dating app. It's so weird. And I'm sure I'm not the only one he did it to. It's just freaking weird. I wish he would have bought the freaking thing. I would have sent him, a little headshot or something.
He didn't buy it? He didn't end up buying anything?
No.
Thanks for nothing, thumb dick.
I know. All I replied was, thank you. Like, I didn't know what to say to that. Like,
yeah, great. You can thank me and you can appreciate me by buying my products.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. You say that's really hot. You want to make me hot? Buy my products.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Press send. When you press order now. Okay.
Yeah.
I get turned
exactly.
on every time you press order now. I get turned on.
I was all excited. Oh, I'm going to make $15. Here we go. And no.
Way through here just to tell you that you're gorgeous. One of these things is not like the other.
Yes. Easy.
But yeah, I mean, God, I'm so ADD. We're both ADD, right? I'm so fucking ADD.
We are, yeah.
Well, anyway, so we were shooting this. So we shot it in 3 days. We did 2 days in May, and then we did our last day in June. And everybody brought their A game.
Awesome.
Every single person did, and it's funny because there's such a high when you're doing it, the adrenaline rush, and then when my director, and it was the last scene we shot was the A scene, and when my director said, "That's a wrap," everybody's wrapped. It was like
yeah. Yeah, I understand that. I'm like that at the shows too. You get stand up, you get that high, and then it doesn't last very long, but it feels great.
Yeah. So it's I was fortunate to do it. I'm glad you like it. I
do,
and it's been thank you, and it's been a good almost 2 years with. It's been a good 2 years with film, TV, and film. It's been really good for me, with the exception of the shit show that started in March. But
yeah, although that shit show has done wonders for me. I started doing online Zoom shows with the first winner of Last Comic Standing, Dat Fan.
Yeah,
he is great. He likes to put women on his shows, minorities. He's really great, super professional. And then I got this podcast going on. It's working out great for me. I think it's like my prize for surviving COVID-19.
Oh, it is. I mean, yes, there's the Zoom shows are great. If we didn't have those, if we didn't have this, I don't know what we would do. I mean, but and we'll see. I mean, I was on hold for a couple of things before this pandemic hit.
Yeah.
I was set to possibly come back to Maisel again.
Oh, yes. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. We played Dougie on there. I started watching that show. It's great. I love it. You have a good time on that show, too?
You know, it was a really cool set, really cool people running it. You know, it's a small recurring role, but I was happy to get it.
Yeah, definitely.
And because here's the kicker. The scenes where I'm always in, where the deli is, that's in my building.
Really?
Yeah. So for like a year and a half, when that show was shooting before, like the first season, you know, all these, I was like, man, you know, this is the agents that I was with couldn't get me into that casting office. I was like, God, I'm a fucking shoo-in for this, man. This would be fucking great. And they're shooting in my damn building.
Yeah.
It's so unfair, you know? And life goes on. I got new representation, and I finally, I started getting into that casting office. They kept calling me back, and had 3 initial auditions for the show, before I got a call from an agent who said, you got a call back, and they want you to go to the Navy Yard for possible, you're auditioning for 2 recurring roles. So you have to go all the way to the Navy Yard, which is fine. You know, then I was in front of Dan and Amy Palladino, who fucking wrote it and directed. Like, holy shit. A holy fuck moment. But it was exciting. And I remember thinking, even if I don't get this, I was happy to get a call back, and I was happy to be seen by these 2 people.
Yes, definitely.
They were really nice, and I booked it. And I was on it for 2 seasons, and it was the set is everybody's great. Everything is laid back, but the period pieces are amazing.
Yeah, they really are. It's set in what, 1950s, early 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's about a mother who becomes divorced and becomes a stand-up comedian, which I think is great. I think that's really great because that's my story kind of too, you know?
I think it, you know, and she's not, you know, the actress Rachel is, who plays, man, she's not even a real comic.
Oh, really?
No, but what she does with it is fucking fantastic, because she's performing somebody else's material and making it seem like it's literally off the cuff.
Yeah. And
that's, you know, when that show came out, there were some comics were like, oh my God, that's not realistic. You know, well, great, dude. Where's your half-hour special? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Fuck up. But I appreciated that ability to do somebody else's shit and make it seem like it's off the cuff. And that's what was great. And it was just a thrill to be on it.
Yeah, that's great. Sometimes when I'm up on stage, I freaking blank out and have to go off the cuff. I was like,
yes, it is. We have to do that sometimes, right? Fuck, what was that joke? I can't remember the joke.
Yep.
So, how about baseball? You know.
It's like, all right, what kind of fucked up shit happened in my life that I can talk about? So, you know, because it's all about my life, so it's easy to pull shit in and out.
I just started off with the fact that, you know, guys, I just forgot that joke. I forgot that.
There you go. That works. And then I kick myself in the ass all night, like, oh shit, I forgot that joke. Oh man, that was a killer joke. And who knows? Like, it could have bombed that night. Who knows? But I always kick myself in the ass.
But sometimes you've come up with a joke through that.
Yes.
You know, you could. That's happened to me. It happened to me a few times, but even early on in comedy, it happened at a mic, you know, where audience came. This is like years, and it's like 2003, 2004, but it's a long time ago. But I came up with one of the best parts of a bit that I had, which still works once in a while when I bring it out.
That's great. That's really great. My first time on stage was in Dangerfields, actually, in Manhattan. Yeah, this guy Ron Herron of Herron Entertainment, I don't know if they still exist or not, put me on stage without even hearing me or anything. It was like totally off the cuff. And I showed up with notes because Richard Lewis once told Howard Stern that when he first started, he used to bring notes. And I was so freaking nervous, my papers went flying, and I was like, fuck. So I said to the audience, I said, well, you're not going to hear that, but let me tell you something else. And they thought, they laughed, so it was good. Actually, a few people came up after me and thought it was on purpose. No, totally not on purpose. I just fucked up.
It's great.
Yeah.
That's balls out, to go up for your first time in front of a show.
Yeah, definitely. And it was sold out, so there was like 300 and something people there.
Great.
It was great.
Just try to get a picture of you watching your notes go.
Yes. I know. It was like in slow motion, like, oh, fuck.
I think the first real time I did stand-up comedy was after my first year of graduate school. I was getting an MFA in acting from the Actors Studio.
Awesome.
And, there was a show called Inside the Actors Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Crystal was on. And I had gone to the same undergrad that he did, which is Marshall University. It's in Huntington, West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
So, the dean that week, he's like, can you tell me about Huntington, West Virginia? Tell me about Marshall. I'm like, well, it's mainly a football town, and, it's in, West Virginia, and, not too many people like me there, but.
I'm sure.
But they do have a synagogue in West Virginia, actually. But so Billy Crystal was on, and at the very end, people get to ask, the people questions. And my friend kept hitting me. She's like, you got to ask him something. You got to ask him something. So I was scared shitless because I was in the second row, and he was like 6-8 feet in front of me. Yikes. And I said, hey, I stood up. I'm like, I'm Ken. I'm an actor. And I hated when people used to say I'm on an acting track.
Yes.
You're not on a fucking track, dickhead. You spent $60,000. You're a fucking actor. You're not on a track. Was this an 8-track? Are you on a loop? What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Sorry, but it's got on my nerves. So I just said I'm an actor, and I love what you do, and I also went to Marshall. And he's like, okay. And I said, there's a lot. I do characters as well, and there's a lot of character work in Marshall. And I said, thank you for coming. And I sat down. He said, wait a minute, get back up. So I'm like, whoa, okay. And he goes, tell me about characters in West Virginia. What is that like? And I'm searching, I'm blanking, I'm shaking. And I came up with Jews in West Virginia. And I've never, heard, Jews in West Virginia, they speak with an Appalachian dialect. He's like, really? How do they sound? How do Jew in West Virginia sound? And so I just started pulling it out of my ass as I went. I'm like, Barakatanano, yeehaw,
Nice.
Came up with the Jews of Hazard.
The Jews of Hazard.
This was all just coming out. And he's like, what's a Seder like in West Virginia? I'm like, oh my God, what's a Seder like? And I'm like, we're going to go hunting for brisket. Ding, 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 ding. We're.
That's great.
So I was on there for he kept encouraging. And I think I was up there for it was a blur.
Yeah.
Almost 10 minutes doing this.
Oh, wow.
I had no sense of time. And when it stopped, he said, I think you need to do some stand-up comedy. And at the time, there was Catch a Rising Star.
Yeah.
On 28th Street. It was on 28th Street at the time, briefly. But, I'd never done real stand-up on a stage. And, besides reciting Richard Pryor jokes to my parents and
yeah,
growing up. And so I invited all these people. I didn't know what to bring. They just wanted to come see me. So that wasn't a problem. So I had 60 people,
Oh, that's great.
School, and friends and all that. And they came and they gave me 12 minutes, which if you've never done that, I mean, that's probably gosh, that's probably just 11 minutes too long. Yeah.
yeah. When you're first starting, yeah.
Oh my God! And these comics had these notebooks. They had these binders of jokes, and I just had a piece of paper with some things written on it, and I just went, oh fuck, 12 minutes, and I just wrote out a few different things, and I was just all over the place on that stage. I think I hit some jokes. I did the Jews in West Virginia bit. I practiced it. And then, what's the other bit? Another Jewish bit I did was, I'm like, it's football, college football season. They have, Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. I'm like, what if they had Jutre Dame? They had the Fighting Hasidics of Jutre Dame, like, flags, the referees are attorneys, and they flow and they throw yarmulkes on the field when there's a penalty. And,
I like that. I would watch that.
Right? Attorneys litigate the penalty. Just and
I started with a 5 minute set. I would have died if it was 12 minutes. Oh my God. I actually had started doing comedy at my brother's parties. He used to have he works at Walmart, and he used to have like these Walmart parties, and he was the host, and he would do characters. Yeah. And I would get up and do my jokes, and like looking back at it now, it's like, oh my God, people laugh, but probably because they were drunk. And then I started in New York City, and then boom, from there. It's been great.
I mean, it's fantastic. It's, I will take virtual stand-up comedy.
Yes.
I'll take it. It's really hard because sometimes you're trying to watch the comments.
Yep.
So some shows are like, you need to use your computer for it. So I have to jack up the computer up to a certain height, make it perfect. And then I have my phone next to it so I can watch it and I can respond to any comments.
Oh, that's cool.
They're always delayed, but
yep.
delayed. They're like, so you don't know whether anything's hitting or not.
You really don't. And it's bad. I finally got a professional tripod. I had my shit on a bucket of that my son puts toys in, and I had the iPhone box and my iPhone propped up on that, and nobody could tell. Like, it looked like a tripod, but like it was bad. And then everybody had microphones, and I'm like, shit, I don't have a microphone. So I grabbed my son's toy microphone and did that, and people loved it. But and you don't know how to read the room, because sometimes there's like 5 people in the room, and and it usually the screen on Zoom shoots to people when they're laughing at you, but lately, like, it focuses on one person, and it's like, oh, it's killer.
Right. No, if it's on Facebook Live or Instagram Live, then you can just see the comments.
Yes.
I did do PJ Landers' show a few weeks back, where he had an audience. For the first time, they were trying to Zoom audience, and
oh wow.
So it was fun. We had one Zoom bomber in the beginning. There's always a Zoom bomber.
Yes, there is.
Just in the very beginning, he's like, fucking pussy, fucking pussy. Like,
oh, Jesus.
The bomber, especially, homes where all the kids are being homeschooled.
Yes.
And that's a big thing right now, too. That's a whole other fucking issue, is that what are we going to do for the fall? My son's going into 2nd grade now. Yeah,
I know. And they're talking like no school. Who knows what they're going to do. It's rough.
2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days. What's the point? It's still, what is the point, guys?
I know.
Social distancing, and, maybe half the school will be, it's a clusterfuck.
It is a clusterfuck. The whole world is just one big giant shit show right now. It's like,
yeah. Here comes flu season. Hey, come on in, flu season. Welcome back. Here's your coronavirus. Hey, Corona. Hey, man, nice to meet you. Hey, we're going to be working together,
I know. And then on CNN the other day, I read that now they're saying COVID-19 can be spread by toilets flushing. Like, ew, like, am I going to get COVID-19 of the pussy? Like, I'm a little scared about that. I'll be having, like, I don't know, maybe Pussy coughs? Wait, I think that's a queef, isn't it?
Pussy 19.
It's like, I don't want it again. I don't know if I can get it again. Nobody knows.
I mean, splashing on your skin, is that what they said? Splashing on your, get up. Close this. Do what you got to do with the paper, whatever it is you have to do. Get up, close the lid, and flush it, people.
I know. It's not hard.
Also helps keep the fumes down.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But those are probably the same people that don't wear masks either. Or the people I like that they drive by themselves and they wear masks. I find that kind of interesting. I kind of think like maybe those are the same people who have joint Facebook accounts. I don't know. It's just
so right. The people with their mask on. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Get the fuck. It's okay. I went to the drugstore this morning to pick up a prescription and pick up some other things. And yeah, I wore a mask in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out, with the groceries full of stuff. My wife opened the trunk. I put it in the trunk, closed it, and she handed me, the wipes,
right.
like, disinfecting wipes. This shit will kill anything. So yeah, I was able to wipe my hands down, wipe the credit card down. I was okay. It's really, it's fine. And then we wipe the stuff off before we get it into the house.
Yeah. Yeah. I see so many people at the grocery store not wearing masks, and it's like, come on. And now it's become like a political thing. And I think that's just ridiculous too. Like, just wear a mask.
Yeah, I know. People are worried about how did some of these people mix up Second Amendment rights with masks?
That's a great question.
Their penis extension with their rifle,
Yeah.
Second Amendment right. What cracks me up is these same people are like, I'm pro-choice, my body, my choice. Oh, now you say it.
Yep.
Oh, so when it comes to a fucking mask, now you're pro-choice. I get it, but when it comes to a woman's vagina, that's now your choice. We got it, okay. A mask on. I'm like, you're perfectly comfortable with your white hood, okay?
Yeah.
Mask could be
exactly. They are. Actually, once I got better from COVID-19, I went on Pornhub and coronavirus porn was #1 trending. Like, sick fuckers. Like, what? And I watched one, and it's like totally not realistic, because my boyfriend and I tried to have sex when we had COVID-19. He had it too, and we didn't get that far into it because we were so out of breath. We actually needed breathing treatments. Like, it's not hot.
Yeah, right. And then you need a mask for your genitals. The man genitals.
I know.
Penis.
Maybe we should go to Shark Tank with that idea.
COVID-19, Here's the $69.95 mask. I mean,
there you go, $69.95.
It's a $69.95 mask, and great. Oh shit, COVID sex, Jesus. COVID.
Yeah. How is your son dealing with COVID-19? Does he?
Speaking of Pornhub, how's your son dealing with?
Yeah, right.
That's a great segue, right?
That's me. The FBI is probably going to come knocking on my door in a few minutes.
I'm Chris Hansen from Dateline.
Yes. Oh my God. I watched one video on there one day. I thought Chris Hansen was going to be in my kitchen when I came home from grocery shopping. Wow. Like, as I get older, these chicks just look younger and younger and younger.
Yeah. It's a specific category, Even when I was out dating, I had a rule that I didn't want to date anybody 7 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's too, for me, generation-wise, for me, that was too young. They don't think, I especially couldn't imagine dating like even in my 40s, dating like a 20-year-old or something. I'm like, you're a baby.
Yeah.
You're fucking, I don't care. You're baby. You just, no.
When I was 20, I dated a 39-year-old, and he did turn 40. And it was weird when we did like family dinners, because like they're the same age. It was really creepy. It didn't work out because we had totally different life plans. He was at the age where he wanted to get married, have children. And like, I was 19, 20, wanted to just get fucked up and party.
Right. And here this guy is, talking about your college homework. And he's like, you're going to be grounded.
Yes. My dad actually said, April, I didn't know you like antiques one night at dinner. I was like, oh, man, because my parents used to take me antique shopping all the time, but I would always bitch about it. And then, of course, he slides that one right in there.
You know, you like it. That's fucking great.
Isn't it? That's where I get my sense of humor from, my father.
Dad said that in front of him? I didn't look at
Right in front of him, yes.
Jesus. Would you like a tetanus shot for that rusty fucking nail? Jesus Christ. It's all right.
I know.
Just to leave your arm a little sore, but you know. Okay, tetanus when he puts that thing in there.
That's right. He was the man, though. We worked together, you know. Everybody's like, woohoo, scoring with April. My boss actually said, I don't think that's a good idea. He's a little too old. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks, I guess.
You know, I had a dog who passed away in 2013. I had her for almost 12 years. Her name was April.
Yes. I remember seeing pictures.
American Bulldog Boxer Mastiff mix. Yeah. So you whenever I hear I think of my, it's special to me.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Rings a bell for you.
Always does, April. I used to call her Apy Doo. But so you asked about my son.
Yes, but totally creepy. But I didn't mean it in a creepy way.
Run around the segue and get back to dogs, and then from dogs, now we can get back to this. So
there you go. That works.
I de-escalated the porn. So.
Good job. You got my back. I love it.
I see. I got nothing but the best, right? I got you back. More ways than you want. No, kid. So my son is he just went through first grade.
Yeah.
Last Friday was his last day, and it's so it's weird. We have had social distance play dates.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, like with good friends, we always ask where they've been before. Where have you been? Have you been tested?
Yeah.
And even though the adults are a little better at social distancing, but the kids are like, they end up right on top of each other. And you're like, well,
yeah, they don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't.
It's like, oh, fuck. And then you feel so dirty afterwards,
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah, go home and shower and.
You kid. I mean, I haven't had it. We're going back to the city tomorrow for one day for appointments. Son's got a dentist appointment. I have another appointment. My wife's got a medical appointment. A few things. And I'm a little nervous to go back to the city, but I think most people in New York City are wearing masks.
Yes. I'm
going to wear it.
Yeah, I think that's where I actually got COVID-19 from, because I did a show at Stand Up New York on, I think it was March 6th or 7th. And about 7 days later, I was sick. And the two girls that traveled with me did not get sick. And the only difference is that I was with the microphone, holding it and talking into it, which I think they definitely need to disinfect those things because, oof.
In the next Comic Up, we'll bring some.
Yeah. I actually did a show with this comic who's also a stripper. Her name is Christy Monroe. She's pretty funny. And she was telling us how they wipe off the poles in between each dancer so they don't get STDs. And I was up after her and I was like, I said to the audience, like, should I wipe this microphone down for STDs? Like, I don't want one. Like, ugh. But she's great. She has a book out too, and she's had a hard life like I did. And she's another great one to follow too.
Sure. No, she's awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going back, and we don't know what's going to happen again in the fall, but we'll see. I feel like I'm bound to get it sometime. I don't know how that's going to work out. We've been staying in Long Island because my family has a house here.
Mm-hmm.
So staying here, we left. She's high risk too, so we left in mid-March. And we got the fuck out. I pulled them out of school a week early before we left because, people are like, oh, they can stay in school to this time. And I knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not a joke. It's spreading like, It is. It's. I'm like, I don't want them in that classroom.
I don't blame you. I would have yanked them too.
And I remember the Sunday before we left, walking around, and nobody was social distancing. The restaurants were packed. And I was like, we got to get out. We got to get the fuck out of here.
You made a good choice. And I'm glad. I'm in a small county, upstate New York. And I think we had maybe 5 or 6, maybe even 7 cases. And that was it. But nobody here, like, they're not wearing the mask like most of them. I see them in throwing parties, redneck parties, drinking in all groups of like 30, 40 people. Like, come on.
You don't need no mask. Trump 220. Trump 220. In God we trust. Our cousins we thrust.
Yes, I often joke about that because I'm kind of seeing a redneck, the guy I had told you about, and like he likes the redneck things like hunting and fishing, four-wheeling, fucking his cousins. No, that's not true. Fucking cousins is not true. But
I mean, I know you got to share with a family, April. I wouldn't be sharing with the family, you know.
I know, right?
Want to make a deal for my sister? Come on in.
That's right.
Oh my god.
They're definitely interesting up here, but they're really great people.
Sure.
The people upstate, they're really kind and they can be nice. However, though, we had a Black Lives Matter protest that was scheduled for.
What happened?
Yeah, they do it every Saturday. I think like 9 a.m. to 1, I think. And there's reports of people, driving by, giving them the finger, shouting racist terms. Like, yeah, come on. Like, and the first one that they had, somebody threatened on Facebook that they were going to put snipers up on the town movie theater and shoot everybody. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Oh god, gotta love white males, huh? Angry white.
I know, right?
Incels. Fucking incels. Fucking incels. Oh my god.
It's crazy. And actually, I took my son to one of the protests, but we lasted, I think, like 4 minutes before he freaked out and nice 2-year-old tantrum, and we had to leave. But at least we tried.
Yeah, there was a Black Lives Matter protest and celebration here in East Hampton, which it was a great turnout. It was a nice turnout.
Good.
It was really peaceful. The police were just sitting there watching.
That's great. That's how it should be.
It was nice. I mean, in East Hampton, though, how rowdy are people going to get?
That's true.
They don't want to fight. They don't want to. It's going to ruin their shirt. They want to.
They don't want to get a hair out of planes.
Want to go to jail? They're like, shit. That's going to take time out of the tan later. I don't want to get jail. But, yeah, it's not. We still got to get some lobsters later. No, it was good to see that. It was nice to be there, and even when Jacob was first born, we lived downtown near Washington Park, and one of the first parades he went to was the Pride Parade. I took another parade because it would stop there, and it was really cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Loved it. I was holding them, and these they would come by, and they're like, oh, they're cute, and it was great. And I wanted him to see this. I want him to appreciate everybody.
Yes.
And his class was one of the things they learned the past few weeks. His class, his first grade class, was talking about the history of Juneteenth.
Oh, that's good.
And the importance of Black Lives Matter. And it was really nice.
That is good.
He's got diversity in his class. And I think that's great. And that's what I grew up with.
Yeah, I had to yell at a neighbor the other day because he said the N-word right in front of my son, and my son repeats everything. I'm like, I know
they do.
I will choke you if you teach him that word. Like, that is horrible.
I can't even, I don't, it's hard enough when other people say it, but when white people try to say it.
Yes.
No, you my ninja. I'll just say ninja for sure.
Yeah.
You my ninja, but when white people try to say the N-word, I'm like, you sound stupid.
Yes.
And you need to be smacked in the fucking head for saying it because you sound stupid.
Exactly. It's extremely ignorant.
Yeah. You're not Eminem, motherfucker. Not even, you're not. Okay.
That's right.
Seat. Take a fucking seat. But yeah, my son picks up everything, and he's smart. He's really funny. He comes up, he does his own Trump. He goes, "Make America great again."
Aw.
He's just imitating it, but they
That's cute.
have cuss words.
Yes, they do. Oh my God, they do.
First time, he started using the F word at me. He's like, "You're a stupid fucking. You're a stupid fucking." And I thought, I don't want him saying that, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, so
it's hard not to laugh. It's
right,
so hard
I put him in his room, and I put him in this room, and I'm like, "You're being punished because you didn't add an adjective at the end of it."
There you go. Teach him proper.
Like that stupid fucking asshole, and I'm like, "Now you got your Legos back." Okay.
There you go. I always feel like I'm traumatizing my son with like the shit that happens. Like the other day, I'm in the shower shaving, and all of a sudden the curtain just whips right open, and there I am in like a yoga pose doing crazy shaving, and he just looks at me and he points at my crotch and goes, "Ew," and goes running. I'm like, oh my God.
It's so funny. My son, we bought him the "Where Did I Come From" book.
Oh yeah,
We're reading it to him, and
that's a good one.
yeah. So I had a post the other day, and he said, "You probably saw it," because I use duct tape to fix a lot of things, to wrap things up. To like, my wife makes fun of me, and so we were talking about the book, and he's like, "Well, can you and mommy have another one?" I'm like, "We're just happy with you.
Yeah.
We're just happy with you. The shop is closed." And he said, "Maybe if you put duct tape on it,
Oh, that's great. That's great. Kids say the darndest things.
Like, here's the diagram, Jacob, because it has diagrams of, the female anatomy, the
Yeah.
part. I'm like, these are some of these Republican GOP people should learn that too, especially if they're going to take away rights. A vulva isn't a car, asshole. It's
I agree. They should.
maybe no.
Like, there was one night I was writing in bed, and my son was playing on the floor, and I looked down, and he's got his father's cock rings on his finger, like wearing them as rings. I didn't even know they were still here. Like, his father got kicked out a year ago with domestic violence. And like, hey, I should mention this before you people call CPS on me. Like, he was only Lord of the Cock Rings for about 30 seconds. So just relax. Like, he had no idea what they were.
On some anal beads. He thought they were candy, and
I know, right? There is candy that looks like anal beads.
Sure.
There is.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of incessant fascination. Willy Wonka's beads.
Willy Wonka. I love that movie. Right. Like, I never really wanted kids, because that movie, like, it just shows you that 4 out of 5 children are just complete assholes.
I want it now. I want it now.
Yes. I'm glad my son is more like Charlie, not any of the other ones.
Right?
He's great.
I said good day, sir. It's a great end.
It is. What's that?
I said good day.
Oh. Yes. Well, this has been a great experience. I love it. I hope you and I can do it again.
Absolutely, we will.
Catch Ken on the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel if he's picked up again. Where can anybody see your TV pilot, or is that still private?
It's still private, but
okay.
They can go to my website, kenperlstein.com, and they can also they can see my my demo, which has some of it on there.
Oh, cool.
They can go to howamidoingtv.com, howamidoingtv.com, and they can see the trailer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or they can request it.
Awesome. Well, this has been great, and I think we can sign off now and tell everybody to have a good day and keep your head up. This world is a shit show, and we have to enjoy it the best we can.
Take care, April.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.